welcome to this program. Welcome to this channel. Hello. Subscribe. We're starting in a moment. Just drinking my tea. Just drinking tea. Just resting before we continue. We're just about to continue our second stream of the night, and I hope that welcome to this channel. And I'm very happy to be here, and I'm very happy that you guys enjoy our channel. Any questions up to there? If you're new to this channel, subscribe and comment, and tell me whether you enjoy our channel. You can be part of our support this channel by go to that subscribe button and press it. All right. Any questions? Can we continue? We have really had a wonderful time. I hope that we'll finish our read. But remember that it is my business for us to have a wonderful time. All right. I want it to be as interesting as possible. I wouldn't want it to be boring, right? I wouldn't want to be engaging in boring stuff, right? Any questions up to there? If you're new to this channel, subscribe and comment and tell me where you're watching me from. Any questions up to there? Feel free to subscribe to this channel and feel free to support us in your... Any questions? Are you ready for the second stream? Such a wonderful time to be here. I want it to be interesting. I want it to be a good time. I want us to have a good time even in reading. Sometimes people make reading to be very tiresome. I wouldn't want us to make it tiresome. Already it's boring, so why do we make it more tiresome? Already it's boring. So I want us to make it interesting. Any questions up to there? Feel free to subscribe. Feel free to comment. Where were we? We were in Job 36. Let us continue. Elihu continued, bear with me a little longer, and I will show you that there is more to be said on God's behalf. Wow. I get my knowledge from afar. I will ascribe justice to my Maker. Be assured that my words are not false. One who has perfect knowledge is with you. God is mighty, but despises no one. All right? God doesn't despise anybody. All right? He is mighty and firm in his purpose. Any questions up to there? I want us to be very firm in our purpose. Our purpose here is to read the word. I want us to be very, very firm in our decision making. I want us to be very, very firm and very, very, let's not move to the left or to the right. Let us just focus on that. And I can assure you that in time, we'll have something to show for it. Any questions up to there? If you're new to this channel, subscribe and comment and tell me where you're watching me from. Any questions? Let us continue reading. He is mighty and firm in his purpose. He does not keep the wicked alive, but gives the afflicted their rights. He does not take his eyes off the righteous. He does not take his eyes off the righteous. All right. He enthralls them with kings and exalts them forever. All right. Exaltation and promotion will come from God. Any questions up to there? If you're new to this channel, subscribe and comment. It is 2:24 a.m. Kenyan time, and I know you guys are feeling like, wow, we've been having such a night. But if we just focus, success is just not far. All right, we are not far from getting that double portion. We're not far from it. The more we read, the more we are distancing ourselves from poverty. That is amazing. The more we are distancing ourselves, the more we invest in reading the scripture, the more we are distancing ourselves from things that are there that tend to slow us down. Are we together? The more we focus on the word, the more we listen to the word, the more we are gaining. We're not gaining days, we're gaining years. Are we together? If you're new to this channel, subscribe and comment. We're not gaining, days, we're gaining years. So if you read with me, and if you are part of this project, let me call it project, you will understand how we're going to do stuff that will take people 20 years. We're gonna do it in 1 year. Right? Stuff that will take people 30 years. We're gonna do it in 1 year or less. And that is exactly why I'm here. Any questions up to there? If you're new to this channel, subscribe and comment. I'm very happy to be here. Let's continue reading. And I know that success is just around the corner. I'm not promising you, quick success. I've never promised anybody quick success. I just want us to be focused on those small gains that we make every day. No matter how small, but if we are making it every day, I want us to build brick by brick. All right? Are we together? I want us to enjoy the process. And because there are lessons that you will learn by in this building, you know, these are the lessons that are to be learned. Are we together? If you're new to this channel, subscribe and comment. You see, any questions up to there? I know if you have any questions, you can ask me your questions. I can see somebody called Bran is here. Welcome to this channel, and I'm very happy to read the scripture with you. Remember that this is just a question of building, you know, every day, one step at a time, one chapter at a time, you know, one verse at a time. We are not skipping the process. We are going one verse at a time. You know, there are more than, can I tell you how many verses that there are in the Bible? There are 31 verses, 31,000 verses, 31,189 verses in the scripture. 31,000 verses. We'll read all of them. There's no verse that we're going to skip. And isn't that a good project? Yeah. If you ask me, I'll tell you that's a good use of our time, good use of our resources. We are not, I don't feel like we're making any losses. It's just, you know, profit after profit. Any questions up to there? If you're new to this channel, subscribe and comment. Let's stay that in that secret place. And I know that there will be transformation in our lives. Let's continue reading. Any questions? Any questions up to there? If you're new to this channel, subscribe and comment. Feel free to be part of this program. Any questions up to there? Subscribe and let's grow together. Can I tell you a very funny story? Can I tell you a very funny story? Do you want to hear a funny story from me? Let's first read the scripture. We'll tell that funny story too once we have finished reading the scripture. You know, the problem is people want, you know, I was reading somewhere that if you want people to understand something, you have to give them a funny story, you know, a funny story in between, so that they can wake up. Some who are sleeping, when they hear some students laughing, they will also wake up. You know, that's a secret, you know. And the why people are not interested in anything to do with reading, anything to do with learning or growing, is because those who were the ones who were to make the foundation of learning, they gave them a very bad foundation. Are we together? So if, for example, somebody who is teaching you about, you know, for example, somebody teaching you history, and they teach you things that are not consistent. You see, the teachers of history should not only teach history, but also teach the direction of the future. Are we together? And there's a reason why I say that I don't want us to discuss politics, because when we discuss politics in this channel, we are going to mix ourselves, and I wouldn't want that. This is a channel where it's a free to all. It's a service to all. Any questions up to there? If you're new to this channel, subscribe and comment and tell me where you're watching me from. God is mighty and he despises no one. He is mighty and firm in his purpose. He does not keep the wicked alive, but gives the afflicted their rights. He does not take his eyes off the righteous. He enthrones them with kings. Any questions up to there? If you're new to this channel, subscribe, and comment, and tell me where you're watching me from. Such a pleasure to be here tonight. You know, um, it's much better for somebody to tell you, how you're going to become better, how you're going to grow, than giving you false stories and things that are not true. And most people are not growing in terms of their knowledge, in terms of their understanding, because they are more focused on lies. Are we together? You're more focused on lies. You want to be lied to. And when you're confronted with the truth, you start saying things that are not consistent, because you expected, you expected people to lie to you again. Are we together? That is the reason why, it's always good. For example, I was listening to I was listening to the guy. Just give me a minute. And I was listening to him. Any questions out there? If you're new to this channel, subscribe and comment and tell me where you're watching me from. And any questions up to there? If you're new to this channel, subscribe. Tell me where you're watching me from. Let's continue reading. And let us continue reading. But if people are bound in chains, held fast by cause of affliction, he tells them what they have done, that they have sinned arrogantly. He makes them listen to correction and commands them to repent of their evil. If they obey and serve him, they will spend the rest of their days in prosperity and their years in contentment. Any questions up to there? If you're new to this channel, subscribe, comment. Let us increase our subscription. It is free. I'm not charging anything. Feel free to be part of this channel. And I hope that by our reading we'll be able to gain, there will be able to be some kind of impartation in our lives. Any questions up to there? If you subscribe, tell me where you're watching me, and I know that we're going to gain something. However small it is, we're going to gain something. Okay, so don't look at it from in terms of large scale win. Some people want you see, there's something called the magic of small numbers. The magic, the magic of small numbers. It's like magic, the magic of small numbers. I can surprise you and tell you that nobody wants to gain little by little. Nobody. Somebody wants to just reap, one big. For example, if you have a very big ugali that you want to swallow, like, can you swallow the whole ugali like one time? No. But the problem, somebody wants, you want to gain a lot of money in just one day, like to win a jackpot. But in reality, is it true? Do people gain, one big stuff in one day? Can you build Rome in one day? It is those gains, those small gains that you make every day, that add and add. All right? But unfortunately, most of us are usually lured by the thought that they will just harvest, big time. But you see, if you tell them to gain small bits every day and build every single day, however small it is, but you just build every single day, in a span, in fact, you'll get there much quicker. You'll get there quickly than somebody who wants, to gain, in one day you want to gain 50,000, 100,000, 200,000. But when you tell them that you just go step by step, they don't want that. They want, to swallow one big ugali. It's like swallowing ugali. I always tell people it's like swallowing ugali. You cannot swallow a whole big ugali. Have you ever gone somewhere you see somebody wants to swallow a whole ugali? You put it in your mouth. You cannot do that. And that is what people want. They want to take a whole ugali and put it in their mouth like this. No, you take it bits by bits. All right? You take it bits by bits. But you see the problem with Kenyans, and in my experience, the problem with Kenyans, they want, it's like they want to eat the whole ugali in 1 minute. You cannot do that. If it is ugali you want, you cut it in very small pieces, and that is how the ugali will not choke you. Okay, or somebody wants to eat sweet potatoes. You want to eat the sweet potatoes very quickly. And when you want to eat sweet potatoes very quickly, what happens when you want to eat sweet potatoes? What happens when you want to eat sweet potatoes very quickly? When you want to eat sweet potatoes very quickly, what happens is that your throat cannot handle, sweet potatoes. All right, and that is the problem with most Kenyans. They want to eat sweet potatoes, the big sweet potatoes very quickly. They want to eat it, a whole plate of sweet potatoes, within 5 minutes. It will choke you. You'll start asking for water because, or cassava. You want to eat, sweet potatoes or cassava very quickly. What happens is that it will start damaging your throat. And that is the problem with Kenyans. You want to eat very quickly. You want to give your throat space, or your esophagus some space. And even if it is eating, you have gone to somebody, you have gone for dinner, and instead of eating politely, you want to eat as if the food is running out of fashion. You want to eat, as if tomorrow there is no food. Chapati, you want to eat 5 chapatis at the same time, like at the same time. You want to eat like this, at the same time. Any questions up to there? And that is the problem. So you find, it's like I was talking to another lady who was telling me that her child, like there's an age where a child gets and they're sucking their mother's nipple, but the child thinks that, when the child bites the nipple, a lot of milk will come out. It's very unfortunate. Yeah, I don't know whether we are together. They think that when a child is a child, when the teeth come out. I was reading somewhere that a child wants to bite the mother, thinking that the nipple will bring out a lot of milk. There will be outpouring of milk, but that doesn't happen in reality. Reality is a far cry from what you think. There is what you think, and there is the reality. And when your expectations meet the reality, most of the people get disappointed. They said, "Oh, it is a scam." No, it is not a scam. It's because you had high expectations. It is not a scam. And that is why people say Christianity is a scam. Because when they go to church, they expect money immediately. They want money, they want that, but they don't want to go through the process. Then when there is no results, you start saying that the Christianity in totality is a scam. And that is where the problem is because you don't want to go through that season of patience. You don't want to go through a season of learning. You want fast success. Unless you are a con man or unless you are a scammer, then Christianity is not a scam. If you are a scammer, then you will say Christianity is a scam. But if you want to go through the entire process one step at a time, then of course at the end of the transaction, you will say that you've gained 1 or 2 or 3 things. But majority of people don't want to go through the process of learning. They want to buy a Land Cruiser today. You want to buy 200 acres today. You want to do things today. But that doesn't happen in reality. That doesn't happen because you don't want to gather the small gains. It's called the magic of small numbers. You don't want to gather what you have gained. You don't want to gather because number one, you despised that humble beginning. You don't want to gain small gains. Put this is what I've gained. Then you take stock. You don't want. You want to go to church today and you want to start driving a Land Cruiser tomorrow, which is, unless you are a scammer, unless you are a thief. There's a curve that you have to go through the process. But unfortunately, most people don't want. They want to arrive today and start, but it's like building, it's like a building. You don't have the foundation, you don't have a very strong foundation. What happens when you start building castles in the air? It all comes down, crashing down. Why? Because there was no foundation in whatever you are doing. It is foundationless. Are we together? You did not. You see, I was telling a friend, when you are building something, you have to put those big blocks first, those big stones first, and that is how they do it. They go and blast a place, then they take the heaviest stones, then they put them in the foundation. Once you don't put light stones first. You don't put the small stones first. You put the heaviest stones first. Once you put the heaviest stones first, then you can start building from the bottom going upward. Are we together? You don't build from the top. The only thing you build from the top is digging a what? Is digging a grave. The only thing you start from the top. is digging a grave. Look at people who want to start from the top, and that is that is how people scam others. They promise you, a life of riches. How can you start from the top? The only thing you start from the top is digging your own grave. Are we together? That is why most people end up being frustrated, because you want to start from the top. The only thing in the world that you start from the top is digging a grave, because you go down, right? Yes. And that is the reality. You don't want to stay in that place of learning. You don't want to, and you don't understand the process. Because everything is a process. In everything there's a process. Can you explain the process? Yes. Yes, you can. Because if you have understood what it took to get there, you'll be able to explain to somebody this and this and this and that. This is the formula, this and this and this and this and this and this. Are we together? But most people don't want that. They want to, even if you want to go to space, you have to start from somewhere. You have to start from somewhere. You don't just go and climb. No. You have to start from somewhere. Any questions up to there? If you're new to this channel, subscribe and comment. You see, for example, I can give you a very good example. When I started this channel, this is my second channel. My first channel is called First Timer, and I wrote it First Timer. So this channel is called the Chariots of Fire. So there's a difference, because now when I started, it's not the same as now, because now we have gained something out of it. Are we together? Are we together? When I started, it is not like now. Things have changed a little bit. Any questions up there? If you're new to this channel, subscribe. When I started, I used to just stream for 10 minutes, I would get tired. But when I learned that you have to increase this, and this, you have to reduce on this, you have to increase on this, you have to relax on this one, you have to go. So it's a learning process. It's not something that you just wake up and you start waking up. It was a slow process, and I had to calm down and accept that I have to learn the ropes. But you see, the problem with people is that they want to flatter themselves. You cannot flatter yourself, knowing very well that you see, it's like there's a man who was building a house, and people went and told him, you know what, the money you have, don't have a very big project, have a small project first. Okay, well, he wanted to build an apartment, and he had parcels of land, and they told him, you know what, instead of building an apartment, why don't you first build small plots and get the tenants first, and then give yourself some time, then build another small plot and get the tenants in and know how to manage the tenants, and the third time, now you build another small plot somewhere, example. But don't go and build one big apartment. And you know what, he, like so many people, think they're better than others. He started the project, but he never completed the project. Why? Because at the middle of the project, the money ended. Instead, he should have listened and build a small plot, get tenants in, learn the ropes, build another one, buy another small plot, you build. So when you feel that you have you have experience, you have then you grow slowly. But unfortunately, you want to start from the top, and most people, they get frustrated once the project is at the beginning. You are very excited. I've seen it. You're very excited. Oh, we are gonna do this. And then at the center of the project, you start saying, the so and so, I went to borrow money from him, he's fake. But also sometimes you have to be very realistic with yourself and know that this project I can only do up to here. Instead of over promising yourself or over flattering yourself. But so when your expectation meets reality, you start saying, oh, it is an altar against me. Which altar? Some of these things are just very wrong kind of reasoning. Which altar? You're the one who is, who doesn't want to calculate. You must calculate. You have a calculator in your phone. You don't want to calculate. It's like you never attended a maths class. Then you start saying, oh, so and so, so and so. When was so and so when you started your project? Why are you mentioning the name of so and so in your project? And when you started, you were, yes, in the name of Jesus. When you started your project, was this person aware that you started a project? So why are you giving people burden that doesn't belong to them? Then you start saying, oh, I'm surrounded by fake people. No, you're the one who doesn't want to calculate. You must calculate. And that is when I started streaming, I asked myself, do I have the capacity to stream? The answer was yes. Do I have a Bible? Yes. Do I have a plan? Yes. So everything fell in place. But now you want to copy. You want to copy a vision. You want to copy. And I always ask myself that question. Am I the owner of the vision? Are you the owner of the vision? Because if you're not the owner of that vision, you will be swallowed by it, by that vision. Don't say come up with your own vision, come up with your own story. Because the owner of the vision is the one who's going to swallow you. You're not going to swallow the owner of the vision. You're the one who's going to be swallowed. What do I mean? For example, this story of united opposition, and I'll tell you the truth, and you will see what I'm telling you. Who came up with the vision? Because that is the first question. Who is the vision? This vision belongs to who? Who is the owner of the title deed? That's the most important question. Say, there's this united opposition that is being proposed to Kenyans. Who is the vision holder? Say, it's Rigathi Gachagua. So I go and ask Kalonzo Musyoka, if you are not the vision holder, because that's the most important question. How can you overtake the vision holder? Let's ask Kalonzo Musyoka that question. I'm not being rude. I'm just asking the most important question. Who is the vision holder? Who is the owner of the vision? Is it Kalonzo Musyoka or is it Rigathi Gachagua? For you people who support opposition. If the answer is Rigathi Gachagua, then Kalonzo Musyoka has no place. Wake up. He has no place. I'm telling you the truth. The way it is. The way it is. So if Kalonzo Musyoka, if the vision belongs to Kalonzo Musyoka, is the holder of the vision, he would be able to swallow Rigathi Gachagua. But if Rigathi Gachagua is the vision holder, Kalonzo Musyoka will be getting breadcrumbs out of this thing. And I was telling you people the truth. There's no way I can be the vision holder and you come and overtake me. That's impossible. So if I'm telling and I'm giving you advisory that for my fellow people from this area, if you people think that you're going to be the ones to overtake the vision holder, then you'll have a very hard time. And that is the truth. That is the truth of the matter. In fact, save yourself the pain. Save yourself the pain. If when he was saying, I want to do A, B, C, D, you were not in the table, then forget about it. You did not conceive that idea. That is the whole story. And that is exactly what I will repeat to all these people who support Kalonzo Musyoka and I don't know, Eugene Wamalwa. Sorry for getting into politics. I'm just telling you the truth, the way it is. That is the most important question. Who is the vision holder? Who came up with the idea? So and so. So it means the engineering of the idea, the wiring, the engine. When he came up with that idea and he just called you, oh, come, I have this idea, but you don't know how he was able to come up with it, to fix the idea. You are just a partaker, because what I'm telling you guys is that they are not equal partners. Well, that's exactly what I'm trying to tell these people who are supporting Kalonzo Musyoka. You are not an equal partner of Rigathi Gachagua. And the earlier you know that, the better. You're not equal partners, because this idea of united opposition was born because Rigathi Gachagua was impeached. So it does not it is none of your business. You are just a partaker. So if they knew better, this idea, you have to ask yourself, where did this idea come from? And I'm just telling you the truth, the way it is. This idea was born when Rigathi Gachagua was impeached, because this story of united opposition would not have been discussed if Rigathi Gachagua was in the government, right? So you guys came after he was impeached. Who went through the impeachment process? Rigathi Gachagua. So this whole thing was born out of what? It was born out of this whole thing is surrounding who? Rigathi Gachagua. So when you people say that Kalonzo Musyoka will be the flag bearer of united opposition, I am telling you for free. For free. It is 6th of March, even a year before elections. I'm telling you for free, for free, for free. You're not paying me anything. You don't even need to go to any lawyer to tell you. As long as the founder of the idea is Rigathi Gachagua, then Kalonzo is just a partaker of the idea. Do you know the meaning of a partaker? He's just a consumer. Are we together? He's just a consumer. You're not the manufacturer. Are we together? And I hope I'm not being mean. As long as, okay. You see, I'm trying to help you guys. You're just a partaker. Okay? You are a consumer of the idea. When you are not the what? The owner. Are we together? if you're not the owner of the idea, you are a consumer. Are we together? You don't know how he came up with that idea. If you're not the owner of an idea, you are a consumer. In fact, you are a helpless, let me put it correct English. If you are not an owner of an idea, you are a helpless consumer. Helpless. All right? And you can take that to the bank. And I'm not saying this to mock anybody. I'm just telling you the facts, the way it is. Because you see, for example, you will be held captive. Right? Because you'll not be on the table when they're talking Turkey. Okay? You'll not be in the table when deals are being made. As long as you're not on the table when deals are being made, then forget about it. Don't even bother. All right? Any questions up to there? And I'm just telling you guys to help you, because you know sometimes I see people, you cannot hijack an idea you don't know where it came from. Can you write that down? You cannot hijack something you cannot see. Are we together? Any questions up to there? So you see, and let me just, we'll finish reading, don't worry. I'm just trying to help you guys. When you see, you will be a helpless consumer. Because as long as you're not the owner of the idea, you don't know the building blocks of that idea. Are we together? You're just a partaker. If you're new to this channel, subscribe and comment and tell me where you're watching me from. I'm very happy to be here. And any questions up to there? So that's why I'm telling you guys, my dear brothers and sisters, if in any case they are saying that Kalonzo Musyoka will be the flag bearer, because that is a question that they are posing to Kenyans. Do you think Kalonzo Musyoka will be the flag bearer of the united opposition? The answer is no. Kalonzo Musyoka will not be the flag bearer. Why? Because he doesn't own ODM. He doesn't own the other people. They will of course, he doesn't have 51% of the party. The party, the opposition, the united opposition, will not trust him. Are we together? So if in fact the idea of united opposition does not even belong to Kalonzo Musyoka, it belongs to Rigathi Gachagua. And that is why they will bully him the way they want. And I'm telling you for free. For free. I've not been paid to say this. I'm just telling you the facts. Because when you see, ladies and gentlemen, I want you to understand the most important point. The idea of united opposition came in very funny circumstances where Rigathi Gachagua was impeached. All the other guys were just spectators. So let me ask you a question. Do you think Rigathi Gachagua in his right mind would allow anyone else to come and patronize the idea? That's a very honest question. Can I answer you? I'll answer you for free. Rigathi Gachagua, and this is a secret, the most open secret. Rigathi Gachagua will not allow Kalonzo Musyoka to patronize anybody. So if you think, if you are thinking, or if you are sleeping thinking that as a Kamba, Ati will come and Kalonzo Musyoka will be given an opportunity on a silver platter to patronize anybody, you'll be very disappointed. And I'll tell you for free of charge. Free of charge. As long as you're not, that's the most question number one. Who is the owner of that idea? If you're not the owner of that idea, you are a bridesmaid. You can agree with me, you can disagree with me, but you'll be bullied to agree to some of the things that it's like you're signing a contract written in Chinese. That is exactly what you're doing. You are signing a contract written in Korean. So you find that written in Chinese. As long as you don't understand the intricacies or the intrigue of something, you are an outsider. Because as long as you don't understand the intricacies, as long as you don't understand the intricacies or the machine, you are an outsider. The intricacies, the intrigue, you don't understand the intrigue or the intricacies. As long as you don't understand how he did it, how he was able to 1 and 2 and 3 to have this and this and this, then is equals to you are a what? You are an outsider. Are we together? Did I say something wrong? Did I say something that you did not like? And as long as you did not give the first 100 shillings, that is the most important question. Who gave the first coin? 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 That is the most important question. Who gave the first coin? So who was the owner of the first coin? The law of the first coin. Who gave the money first? If it was, you see, let me tell you how people, can I tell you something? How people own things. They give you 100 bob. Go and take a photocopy. He was the first one to give money. He was the first one to do it. Then, whether you know it or you don't, it becomes, he now has ownership rights. Are we together? If you're new to this channel, subscribe and comment. If you're new to this channel, be part of this. We'll start another new stream. Enjoy. Tonight we are really discussing stuff. You have been complaining, or we have not been talking about politics. We have not been doing this. You have not been doing that. But I'm just telling you guys the truth. That is why you find people like Mike Sonko. They went and formed their own parties. They did not get into this regarding thing. You just read in between the lines. Read in between the lines. That is why, sometimes you ask yourself, why is it? Why is it? Why is it that Sonko separated himself? Why is it that Sonko Why is it that he separated himself and formed his own party? Because he wanted to have bargaining power. You see, sometimes you just read in between the lines and see, why is it that even in this united opposition, you start asking questions. But where is this man? Where is this man? You look for him using a torch. Why is it that he formed his own party? Why is it that he formed his own party? You know, sometimes you ask some of these questions. Why is it that this man was insisting on forming a political party? Why is it that Mike Sonko is not joining the rest in that bandwagon called United Opposition? You know, these are questions. Why is it that he went solo? Why? You have to understand the intricacies and the mechanics. Why is it that this man separated himself? Why? Why is it that this man is not running around with the rest and saying, I don't know, one term? These questions need answers. And once you're able to answer those questions, you'll be able to know what is happening, really what is happening. Because even I would even ask Kalonzo Musyoka, you should even watch. Why is it that Sonko is not joining you? Kalonzo Musyoka should ask himself that question. Why is it? Why is it that it is only him who's buying the lie? Why is it that the younger politicians, they all disappeared? Why is it the only one buying the idea? Because they could see through the lie. Are we together? Why is it? You know, sometimes I always ask, sometimes you ask, man, why is so and so? Why is he not following this united opposition? Because they know there's nothing to be gained there. And why is it that it is only Kalonzo Musyoka who believes that he will be the flag bearer in a party that doesn't belong to him, or in an idea that doesn't belong to him? Are you in your right mind? Ask yourself questions. You see, the idea, at the end of the day, the idea belongs to Rigathi Gachagua, whether you like it or you don't like it. And it was born because he was impeached, full stop. The rest of you are just buying in the lie. Si tumemaliza hesabu ama kuna hesabu ingine? Yes. And Kalonzo Musyoka should just stop wasting his energy and time following people who just want, yes. And that is the truth. Whether you are angry with me or you're not angry with me, as long as you're not the one who conceived that idea, it is not yours, full stop. Go and come up with your own vision. You cannot live in another man's vision. Go and buy your own vision. Go and come up with your own vision. You cannot live in another man's vision, full stop. You can take me to any police station, I will go. But I'm telling you the truth. You cannot live in another man's vision. That is the end. Hapo umemaliza. As long as you're living another man's dream, sahau you. That is where you get the last technical knockout. You cannot live another man's vision. If the vision does not belong to Kalonzo Musyoka, it doesn't belong to Kalonzo Musyoka. You can hate me. You can say I'm this, but that is the only thing I look at. Whose vision is this? This vision belongs to so and so. You cannot live in another man's vision. Full stop. And if you want to check, go and check. And questions up there? Did I answer you? If you want to gain You have to separate yourself from that vision if you want your own vision. But as long as you are living in another person's vision, forget about it. Or as long as you are not the carrier of the vision, I'll tell you for free, forget about